Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to Naho Blessed Fashion. In today's video we are going to be making these beautiful rose flowers. As you can see, if you want yours to be covered, like if you don't want it open like this, I'm going to show you how to get it covered. If you want it open just like mine, I'm going to also show you how to get it open. If you want it bigger, you will just add multiple layers to get the perfect size you want. Okay, don't worry, we'll do that together. So I am going to cut it on pattern before we transfer it to the fabric. So I fold the pattern into two. Okay, I fold it into two, and then I use two different sizes. Okay, the bigger size is 4 by 4. I'm going to mark that out. You can actually make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can also use the same size all through. Okay, you still get a nice result. So I marked 4 inches, and I'm going to mark 4 inches for the width, but because the pattern is on fold, I'm going to divide it by 2. Okay, by the time you open it, you get your 4 inches. So I divide it by 2. I mark that out, which is 2 inches. I mark the same 4 inches here. I'm just trying to get a straight line. So 2 inches for the width and then 4 inches for the length. That's because the width is on fold. Okay, so I'll divide what I have at this line here. I'll divide it by 2 and then connect from the upper part to the 2 inches just like this, just to give it a shape, the rose shape. Okay, you can make any shape you want. You can just decide to create any shape you want. So I'm just going to mark the smaller size before I cut everything out. So the smaller size is going to be 3 inches. So I'll mark out 3 inches for the length, and then for the width, 3 inches divided by 2 is 1.5 inch. So I'll mark 1.5 inch for the width. That's because it's on fold. Okay, so I'm marking the same 3 inches just so I get a straight line. Like I said, you can make your roses bigger depending on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm just going to mark the smaller size just like this, and then divide this one by 2, which is 1.5 inch, and then connect it to give it a nice shape. Okay, so I'll just cut the bigger size. When I'm done cutting the number of roses I want, I'm going to trim it off, then use the smaller size. Okay, don't worry, we'll do everything together. When you open it up, this is what you have. As you can see, I'm going to cut it out on my fabric. I'm going to fold my fabric into 2. This is shiny Mikado. You can use bridal satin as well. You can use any fabric you know is going to stand. Okay, so I fold the fabric into 4 just so I can cut 4 pieces at the same time. We are going to be using the same fabric for the lining, so I'm just going to trace it out. What I cut includes the sewing allowance. So like I said, if you want to make it bigger, please go ahead and make it bigger. Okay, I actually added some layers, and the layers I added was 5 inches. Okay, 5 by 5 inches, so it was bigger than these 4 inches. I added layers to make it bigger. So place your pattern on the fabric, pin it down, and then you cut it following your pattern. You can decide to add sewing allowance, but I don't have to. I took that into consideration when I was drafting the pattern. The allowance I need is just 1/4 inch, not much. So I have cut out the pieces I want. I'm going to trim out the 4 inches now. So this is the 3 by 3 inches. I'm going to use it to cut out the number of pieces I want. The other one is 10 pieces. That's 5. It's going to give us 5 because we are using the same fabric for the lining, so 2 for each one, so we are going to have 5 for that one. And this one too, I'm going to cut out 6 for this one. That's 12 in total. I actually did more, but it's not part of this tutorial because I ran out of fabric, so I had to go get more fabric to get it as full as I want it to be. So just place your pattern and cut it out. I'll do that off camera and then we'll move to the next step. So guys, I've cut the pieces I want. Okay, I'm going to place them right side facing. You'll get 2 pieces, place them right side facing and stitch it down with 1/4 of an inch. Okay, just want to stitch it down with 0.25. I'll do the same thing to all the pieces. 2 pieces right side facing each other, and then you stitch it down. I've done that like I explained. The next thing I'll do now is to turn it to the right side. So you go ahead and trim out the excess. If you have any excess, go ahead and trim it out. I don't have much because I tried not to waste the fabric. So you turn it to the right side and iron it down. So I'm just going to get it, open it up and iron it down just like this. Very simple. You get it and then you iron it open. I've done that. I'm going to use my lighter to burn down the rough ends. You can actually weave it. I'm just using my lighter to burn down the rough ends. Okay, when I'm done, you're going to be using your glue. You can use needle and thread for this. You can use your glue for this. So I'm going to apply the glue to just one side. Watch me carefully so you don't make any mistake. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm putting it on just one side. Just watch how I am doing it. I'm not going to put on the last one. Watch me carefully. So you just put it on one side like this, one side like this. Okay, one side like this, then you won't put on the last one. So I have 6 of the small size and 5 of the bigger size. I'm going to use that first. So you're just going to gum it down just like this. Okay, the side that doesn't have gum, you place it on the side with the gum just like this. So like I said, the last one, you don't have to put gum, as you can see. I'll do the same thing to the bigger size. Okay, you can make it as long as you want, depend on the size you want to achieve. Like I said, I added extra layers. So you can use gum. Just apply your gum at the edge before you fold it. You can also use your needle and thread. So I'm going to use needle and thread. I like the needle and thread because it's going to, you can always adjust it, but when you use gum, once it's dry, you can adjust it again. So you just fold it and stitch down. You fold and stitch down. While you're folding, you'll be pleating. Now if you want it open, don't worry, I'm going to be showing you everything. If you want it open, you're going to do just tiny pleating. Okay, you make sure you don't do too much pleating. When you are pleating it, you'll be seeing what you are getting, so you can always adjust. So you can do tiny pleating if you want it closed. You pleat and then you stitch it down with your needle and thread. But if you are using gum, once you pleat it, that's all. You just pleat it and allow it to dry. It's more easier with the gum, but it's just that you won't be able to adjust it the way you want once it's dried. So you pleat, okay. The bigger the pleat, the wider it's going to be. So if you don't even want it open completely, you can just fold it without pleating. Just do you, okay? You'll be seeing what you're doing, so you can always adjust. I'll bring the other layer, pleat and fold. You pleat, you fold, you pleat, you fold. Okay, you pleat, you fold. The bigger the pleat, the wider it's going to be. Once you fold, you use your needle and thread to stitch it down, or you use your gum to gum it down. That's basically it. Very simple. You pleat, you fold, you pleat, you fold, and you stitch down. I'm just going to show you how you do it with the glue. So you apply your glue here, and then you fold. You fold it, okay. You make the pleats. You make the pleats, okay, and then you fold. It's more easier this way, but once the glue is dry, you will not be able to adjust the rows. So you can go ahead and attach it to wherever you want it to be. I'm using it on the sleeve, but like I said earlier, what I have here is not enough for me. I want it fuller, so I will have to get more fabric. This is 1.5 yards. If you want to make it for a sleeve like this, you will need 3 yards, so I will have to add at least 1.5 yards so I can get it as full as I want it to be. So you can use your gum to attach it, or you can use your needle and thread to attach it. If the down part is too pointy, you can trim it off. You can cut off the down part so that it will relax. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.